Hey guys, welcome back to Auto Repair guys. In today's video guys, here we'll be working on a Dodge Journey and we'll show you guys how to remove or how to replace valve cover gasket or how to remove valve covers. So, let me guys introduce you to the channel. We're going to have more than 200 videos on a Dodge Journey guys, so please subscribe to the channel. Our mission is to save you as much money as we can by teaching you how to fix your car for free. Now, in today's video guys, we'll be working on a 3.6 engine here. So, we'll demonstrate how to remove and how to replace valve cover gaskets and how to remove valve covers. So, a little bit of a complicated video guys, stay with us, we'll show you how to do it and let's go ahead and start on it now. So next we just need to get a flathead screwdriver, get that clamp loose now. Okay, let's see if we can get that boot out. Yep, perfect. And then there is one more clamp right there. Okay, we're getting this one out now. So now we just grab it and we gently need to pull that thing out. Careful not to break any vacuum hoses in the way or anything like that. Okay, you can see, it came like that. So now we have one rubber glide right here. This one, in our case, looks like it's broken. You have two more on the back side. Okay, they're like, you'll feel them, one right here, one over there. And what you need to do, okay, you need to pull straight up to come out of the rubber bushings. And after that, okay, this sensor here for the temperature, intake temperature sensor, pull that one out. And when it's out of the other two sensors, okay, all we have to do now, just start pulling it out. Okay, and now we just need to mess with it, okay, until we get it out. I think it will come out only one way, because there is one thing holding on the bottom. So let me figure out, okay, which way this thing will come out. And we'll show you what is the easiest way to remove it. So what we'll do, we'll actually remove that little hose, it's in the way. Okay, so let me get this one out of here now. If the engine is hot, never do that because it's part of the cooling system. Okay, you don't want to burn yourself because it could be under enormous amount of pressure. So, okay, it got loose now. You might be able to do it without removing the hose. Okay, but I wouldn't recommend it now. Right here there is one clamp on the back side, one plastic retainer that we need to pop up. That way the hose will go down. Okay, like that. And now I think, let's see if we'll be able to pull that guy out of here. Oh, maybe still will not work, guys. Okay, this thing is ridiculous, I'm telling you. So, I don't know if it will come out without removing the intake manifold, the upper intake. Because there is two guys holding on the back. So if you push towards the back, okay, come out like that. I think we almost got it out. Okay, like that. Those are the two, oh yeah, there was a little bit of water. There are two bushings on the back that we need to release in order to pull that thing out. Let me show you where they are on the engine quick. Okay, if you look towards the back side, this is one of them. This is the other one, right there. So next, you can remove the whole upper intake together with the I believe with the throttle body. We will inspect here in a second, but we will take them apart because we want to make a video, guys, how to replace throttle body, how to clean it as well. We want to clean ours because those are known to give engine light on, engine codes, and a little bit of unstable idling. So we'll be cleaning ours. Check out the video. So with 8mm socket now. Okay, there are 4 bolts that we need to, 4 screws that we need to remove. Here we will have to do it by hand. We will not be able to do the impact because it's a little bit of limited room. And it's a good thing we decided to remove the throttle body because check this thing out. We have electrical tape stuck inside. Somewhere it sucked it through the intake, got there, and that's why the car was idling a little bit funny. So one more. So 2 left. Okay, this. And now we have one more on top holding, but let's remove this one. Perfect. Now we need to disconnect the wires here. Okay, this. You cannot slide it out. Now this wire right here, you can see that's a safety pin. You need to pull that thing, okay, out. Okay, like that. Press down now. Okay, that's perfect. And pull it out. And we got the throttle body out of the way now. This is where the electrical tape is stuck. So now we need to get 8mm socket, and we'll need to start removing a few screws now for the upper intake. It's very important not to over tighten those later. It's at 7 to 9 Newton meters. So we keep doing that now. We'll be fixing a common oil leak on that engine as well. We have so many videos, guys. If you have any specific problem, drop a comment below. We'll get the idea about fixing things, and also we'll try to make a video for your specific problem. Okay, those are loose now. With 10mm we have to remove 2 nuts holding the intake right here. That's the upper intake. Okay, perfect. This one's been loose for like 2 seconds and we're still spinning it. Great. Okay, don't drop things like we do. Now we need to start disconnecting a few hoses. We need to also disconnect, okay, here the this will be the map sensor in a little bit. Okay, that map sensor right here. Okay, we need to pull that red thing to the back. Now press down on it and pull the wire out, but ours is stuck a little bit. Okay, perfect. Okay, with the clip remover too, we need to remove that holder there. Again, all the tools and parts, guys, that we use will be listed in the description of the video below the video, so please check it out for your convenience. This thing is almost done. We just want to make sure we don't break them, because if we do, we have to replace all that stuff later. Okay, perfect, like that. Now we have one vacuum hose right here that we'll need to pull out. This one, we might even do it in a little bit when I get to it. Okay, and in the meantime we'll remove that hose there. Okay, this one, I got it loose, but it's moving now. Okay, it's coming out. Perfect, just careful not to break your intake. Now we can go ahead, remove that bracket here, that clamp, and we need to pull that hose out now. This one will be stuck most likely. Okay, like that. Here we have one more nut holding. Two nuts. Okay, one on this side, one on the other side, with a 10mm socket. So now it's still holding, guys. This bracket right here, we need to go ahead and remove those brackets so we can get it out. Quite a bit of disassembly here. So now we'll be removing that cable here. Okay, over the bowl there is one plastic holder for the wires here, so we need to pull that one out. And this one, usually you want to get it a little bit on each side, okay, and then it will come out. If you just try to go on one side, okay, it's not going to come out. Okay, and you can see this one came out. Now we can use, let's see, a wrench, I think, that will actually let us take that bolt off. So we're on the left side of the engine now, where we removed the two nuts. So what we'll be doing now, we'll try to remove that nut and bolt and get that bracket out. And if that bracket comes out now, we won't have to mess with the ones on the front. So we want to see which one is easier, guys, so you don't have to do the same amount of work that we do. Probably save you a little bit of headache. Okay, this nut is almost out. Perfect. So what we did right here now, okay, we pull that bracket of the bolt here. Okay, you can see I pulled it out, and then I pulled it up like that. And now we're going to use 13mm deep socket to remove that bolt, and this bracket should come out, hopefully. Okay, so we have extension with the deep socket 13, and we're trying to remove that bolt now. Whoever thought of that design, guys, I think they wanted you to go to the dealership, because that's quite a bit of work. Okay, we need to just pull it out in a little bit. Perfect. It's right there. Now we'll just grab it, pull the bolt out. Okay, this is what it looks like. Let me show you a little bit more. Okay, it goes this way on the bracket. Now we'll need to pull that bracket out like that. Okay, and we can just leave it there now. We have one more bolt right here with the 8mm that we need to remove. That's one that we didn't see at first. So we'll go ahead, remove that one now, and then we'll be ready to continue with the next step. Okay, let's see now if we can lift up on this side a little bit and get it out of here. Perfect. So you can see that saved us quite a bit of headache, guys. Now one of the gaskets, okay, is stuck here. The other ones are over there. You can see that's how they need to be, right here. Now we'll need to cover those holes. So we're going to cover the intake now. Make sure that you cover your holes so you don't drop anything. Even I would recommend to put a bigger towel or something, because if you drop something in the valves and you don't notice it, your engine will be done. Okay, now we can pull that piece. It's extremely dirty and dusty usually, so pull that thing out and we can proceed with the next step. So now in order to remove valve covers or replace valve cover gasket, guys, you need to remove both valve covers. Now the front one and the rear one, okay, the difference is not too big. Okay, not too big, so the procedure is almost the same. So we'll show you now on the front one how to do it, and the rear one will be almost exactly the same way. Just things are a little bit harder to get to, and I cannot get the camera in the back to show you the bolts, but almost all of them will be in exactly the same position. The front one is trickier now because we have to remove these brackets still, the ones that we didn't remove earlier, so now we will need to remove them. So we will remove that cable from the bracket here now. We might need to get the metal too, the heavy duty one. Okay, so we have a little bit more room, and we'll need to anyways because we'll need to remove the bracket. Okay, so we're going to get the bolt loose now, okay, all the way, and we'll continue with the next step. I don't want to waste your time just watching us 10 minutes how we remove one bolt that is hard to get to. You pretty much just get it with the ratcheting wrench and go back and forth and it will come off. Next, for the other one, here we'll need to disconnect that cable as well. Okay, so we will be able to reach the second one later. Okay, and usually once you get those things loose, they start going by hand. Okay, pretty easy after that. Okay, so we're almost out now. Okay, let me show you. I got the bolt loose now. That's what it looks like. We can pull the bracket out. Now what will be easier, okay, is actually if you go ahead and start with all the cables, all the wires. Like right here, we need to disconnect those. Now press in here, pull out. Later you have to install them exactly in the same order that we took this one apart. We have one holder here that we need to pull out. Perfect, this one came out as well. We'll need to disconnect the camshaft position sensor next. So that red thing, press it down, back, push down and pull the wire out. So a few more things here to disconnect. Okay, and one wire right there. And you can see the wires are out of the way now. What I'll do, I usually get these holes here disconnected as well, so later we don't forget about it. We need to do the ignition coils, press down on the back part here and pull out. Some of them will be stuck. Okay, really big time, so you just have to wiggle them a little bit. Okay, perfect. We'll remove this bracket now right here. So this one has a double nut, one nut and one bolt. So the easiest way for this one to reaches through here, or maybe it will be easier if we use the ratchet. Okay, so we have the 13mm socket now. We'll get that nut loose, and sometimes they'll go by hand. Okay, once you get it loose. So that's quite a bit of a work, guys, but they charge so much money for that repair. Okay, we dropped ours, so we need to get it in a little bit. We'll need to pull that bracket out now. Okay, like that, and then we need to disconnect the bolt. So we'll get the bolt loose now, and after that, again, they do move by hand pretty easy, and we'll remove it. Okay, so you can see we're almost out now. Just a little bit more. Okay, this is the second bracket with the bolt. Now we'll remove the ignition coils with a 10mm socket. And we need to remove all three of them now. Okay, just pull them out, careful not to lose your bolts. Okay, and this one there. So with Torx 20 now, what we'll do, well, we're going to remove one of the phasers, camshaft phasers here. I just want to see if they're actually holding anything, because we don't want to damage them. And I'll let you know if you have to remove or you don't have to remove those. That way, guys, you will know. Okay, and just one more on the bottom. And when you get those loose, they go by hand. Okay, pretty easy, short bolts. So removing the second bolt now. Okay, almost there. Okay, let's pull that phaser out. Okay, we will leak some oil out. Yep, it looks like it might be holding maybe here in the middle. Okay, not for sure though. It has a hole in the camshaft, so I just don't want to risk breaking them. But I don't think actually it is. So I wouldn't risk it, guys. Because those things are expensive, so I'll just go ahead and remove them. It's your opinion if you want or you don't, because it's a close call. So I'll just go ahead, get those loose now, and we'll remove the other one, the one on the intake camshaft. Okay, 3 more bolts, and then we'll proceed with removing actually the valve cover itself. We just dropped our socket in two. Now it's very important to remove the camshaft position sensor, otherwise you can just say goodbye to it and go ahead and buy a new one, because this one comes in a specific way. You see, it needs to be tilted, and if you try to turn that thing left or right, you're going to break it. So never ever turn that thing left or right. If it's stuck, you might use a prying, like a panel prying tool like this one here. Okay, and just pry it up, then comes in an angle and pull it out. Okay, like this one now. So now we're going to get 8mm socket, and we'll start, okay, removing bolts now. Okay, this one we'll need a deep socket for this one, and the one towards the end here, so you can see for this one, so we're going to just do that. Okay, perfect. So now right here we need to remove those holders for the cables here. Okay, so let me see if I can get that. Okay, two underneath. Now we need to switch hands. So pretty much just get the two underneath and gently, okay, pull those out. Careful not to break them, because if you do, you cannot reattach them later. And do not pry too much on the cover, because you're going to crack that cover. That cover is not very strong. Okay, now just one more on this side. Okay, this one is almost all the way out as well. Okay, perfect, just like that. Now we need to get the deep socket, and we need to remove the two bolts that we still have left. Okay, you have to make sure that all of the bolts are loose, otherwise it's not going to come out. Perfect. So let's see now. It might be stuck a little bit, because the gasket will be stuck here and there, so we need to help it a little bit to break it loose. You have to be extremely careful not to damage the top of the cylinder head or damage the cover as well, because this is a plastic cover. So right here on the back there is a place, okay, where you can gently pull on it. So now you have two glides, okay, holding the valve cover really down, one here, one there. Eventually when you shake that thing, okay, it's going to come out. It won't be easy, I guarantee you that, but eventually they will come out. So this is the valve cover, okay, out of the way. So, okay, let me show you where those glides are. Okay, I'm talking about this one right here. Those are not bolts. One here, you have to clean and lubricate those when you install it later. So if you later guys need to replace the gasket, all you have to do, just pull the gasket out. Don't forget to install new gaskets actually for the spark plug holes and for the camshaft position sensor. And everything else, putting it together, will be in reverse order that we took it apart. We're going to share the torque specs in a video. We'll have a video that will explain about torque specs and putting things together. So please check it out. Thank you for watching guys, and see you next time.